Good morning, Tiff. You're muted.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or evening, based on where you're joining us from around the world or listening back at the time of this recording. So excited to be here with you all. Today is Wednesday, March 1st. And I always love when we have a brand new day of the month kick off on our success coaching call day. So I'm so looking forward to being with you. Hello, loves. Welcome to March. Welcome to Wednesday. I'm so excited that you're here. Looking forward to that. So, and to connecting as you jump in here live, whether you're with us on Zoom, if you want to say hello in the chat box, or if you would like to, if you're on Facebook Live, if you want to say hello, please do so. I'm going to handle my pup for just a moment. He's getting after a bone and that's distracting my brain. I mean, real life, right? It's like I have a toddler, but it's not a toddler. It is a golden retriever. So give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. But if you want to say hello in the chat box, I want you to also start thinking about what was one of your wins and victories for the month of March. Or excuse me, your wins or victories for the month of February. And then we'll be talking about what's one of your intentions or goals for the month of March. So again, win or victory from February, start thinking about that, one of your achievements, accomplishments, and then we'll talk about March and all the juicy creation. I'll be right back. Let me handle my toddler. Okay, Bo, come here, baby. Okay, friends, thank you for your patience. All right, well, good morning. I see several of you have joined. Again, if you are here live, please say hello in the chat box. Hi, Karina. Hi, Ruth. Good morning. Hi, Libby. Christina, good morning. Hi, Jeannie. Nice to see you. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Olga. Good morning, you guys. Good afternoon, evening. So nice to have you. Hi, Chaz. Welcome. Okay, so let's look at this as we come into a new month, right? I love, love, love the energy and vibe of a new month, and I love the energy and vibe of March. I think because St. Patrick's Day happens in March, I always have this vibe of green, of luck, of magic, but I specifically think of making sales, right? It's like money, honey. We are going to make more money in this month. And I do have a free masterclass coming up later this month. I think if you're attached to my newsletter, you'll see or hear about that, or social media, that's coming up. But 3 keys of helping you grow your sales now, and specifically how to help recession proof your business. I love braces. They're so fun. My future self is thrilled that I wear braces, PS, right? My future self, right? We're doing that for her. But welcome to a new Wednesday, a new week. I want to get connected for just a moment, but what I'd like you to do is to grab a blank sheet of paper or open up to your notebook or journal or workbook as we drop in here together today. And I just would like you to acknowledge yourself. What are some of your wins and victories for the month of February, right? And again, some of these things, sometimes we think some of you qualified for leadership. If that's you, I want to hear about that in the chat box. How many of you are going to leadership? Right? Some of you have had a really thriving February in that way. But I want you to acknowledge all your wins and victories, right? Thinking about things like, did you read a book in the month of February? Did you clean or declutter or organize? Did you take your LLV or MetaPower or utilize your essential oils? Did you make your bed, clean out a pantry, right? Enroll new people in the business or sample new people? Did you learn a new skill or work on your personal or professional development? I'd love to hear this from you all. Is what were some of your wins and victories? I'd love to hear that. I love it. Tim says leadership retreat. I love it. Love that you're going to be there. Yay, in the month of March. Julie's also going to leadership. Looks like Sarah Collins. Heck yes. Jeannie's going to leadership just in 2 weeks. Oh, isn't that so fun to look forward to? But what were some of your other wins and victories? Keep celebrating leadership. I'm stoked for y'all that are going. I think that'll be so fun. Yeah, like Amy is saying, I painted my office, also going to leadership. Oilers with a mission, remind me who you are, your name, because I know that's your, business name, but decided to let go of alcohol. That's awesome, right? You doing that for Lent or just a different thing for yourself altogether, right? Katie said, I survived the first month of Diamond Club. Yes. Did anyone read though, or listen to a good book or podcast? Anyone read? I've read and listened to a lot of good stuff in the month of February. My brain is full of goodness. If you're on my email list, I messaged this to you all yesterday. This went out yesterday, but I talked about 3 books I'm currently reading or have read, as well as 3 podcast shows that are just rich and off the charts, right? And part of that, if you're not part of my newsletter list, I hope you get there because I send a lot of good free content there. And you simply go to tiffanyspeaks.com, write that for me in your notes, tiffanyspeaks.com, and enroll yourself there so you can hear all about that. But there's a couple of books I want on your radar. Number 1, this week, a dear friend of mine, she is like a soul sister, her book called The Art of Bouncing Back by Darlene Santore, Darleen, Santore, Santore. I'll get you a link and put it here in the chat box in just a moment. Let me pull that up. Give me a second. But Darlene's book just is going live this week, meaning it's been on pre-sale and now it's officially launched. And I'm so super excited for her and what she's creating. And she was on the podcast show this week that just barely went live yesterday. Did any of you listen to that yet? Oh my gosh, I listened to that, even though I was the one recording the show with her, I listened to it during my workout yesterday. I was so pumped. Coach Dar, she's known by many. She is a mental fitness mindset coach. I mean, she's coached some of the most well-known athletes that you would know, right? Professional athletes, different teams, different players, CEO executives. She's a phenomenal coach based out of Arizona. Incredible woman. And I hope you get connected to her. I'm going to send this in the chat box. And then Sharon, if you'll also put this link on the Facebook Live post, so people have that there too. But there's the Amazon link direct to her book. If you buy a copy of her book, she and I are doing a bonus coaching session the end of March. We give you time to get the book, read the book. You can get on Audible or hard copy. I love touching a physical book. I do love Audible too. Often I just buy both. And if you buy a copy of her book, send a copy of the receipt to info@tiffanyspeaks.com. info@tiffanyspeaks.com. Copy of your Amazon receipt, or if you buy it off her website, and you'll get, my assistant will email back to you the Zoom information and when we're meeting and how to join us, a custom session that she and I are doing together. But at least listen to the podcast, and then you might be like, oh yeah, I definitely need the book. You're going to want the book, but I understand you might want to listen to that show. That just went live. Again, that you can find on Tiffany Peterson podcast on iTunes or Spotify, Stitcher. Some of you also know about a book called Be Your Future Self Now. That is a book, great book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. He was recently on the podcast a couple of weeks back. Some of you have been raving about that, promoting it, sharing it, right? And we've talked about it here. It's like being your future self now. And then finally, a great book by Rachel Luna that I've been reading and read through the month of February is called Permission to Offend. Great little zesty, tiny little cute Puerto Rican woman that's just she's powerful, right? What she's creating. Talk about a story. Former US Marine. Both of her parents died from the AIDS virus, right? And she's a cancer survivor, thriver, and she's just an amazing, amazing woman. And that's that third book. So lots of good stuff that I'm reading, having these people on the podcast and the show. You can listen to them there, but a lot of fun things that are happening. Yes. If you get the audiobook, you can still join in. Yes, absolutely. And another question up above here, I will not personally be at leadership, but I am seriously championing you all on. So looking forward to you guys having that experience. There's so much value in getting together. Don't you just love a live event? Live event. Any one of you on the East Coast, specifically in North or South Carolina or Virginia, I'm going to be in Raleigh next week speaking at an incredible conference called the Unstoppable Success Summit. Amberly Lago's putting that on. Ken Jocelyn will be there. He's got a huge platform. Lindsay Schwartz, Powerhouse Woman. She has an amazing, amazing lineup, and I'm so thrilled and honored to be speaking there too. And again, if you want that detail, if any of you happen to be East Coast or you have team members on the East Coast, even if they have to drive or even get on an airplane, y'all, this is going to be a powerful room. One of the most potent things you can do for yourself, which is why I'm thrilled if you're going to leadership, is to put yourself in rooms with other successful, positive, growth-minded people. It's one of the fastest ways to accelerate your own growth is the power of association, right? The power of association. It's one of those potent success hacks. It's why I love that you're here every single week, or when you pop into this call, is spend time with people who are positive, who are nourishing, who are going to encourage you. They're going to push you, nudge you, and help you be better. You guys, it's so, so powerful to do that. So again, get the books, get the podcast, because that's one way you put goodness in your brain, but join those rooms, go to leadership, come to convention. I hope you're coming in September. So powerful. Yes. Sharon is putting the books there in the chat box and there on Facebook in the comment section as well. The Art of Bouncing Back, Be Your Future Self Now, and Permission to Offend. Good stuff. Let me make sure I've got this all. Okay, anyone else want to share with me your new and good? What was one of your wins or victories the month of February? You guys, it's so important that you take time to do that. I'm a big fan of the Passion Planner. Some of you, snuck in my Instagram DMs, and by snuck, I invited you to go there. You can go to Instagram or Facebook Messenger. I'm happy to send you a link and a discount code, but this is the planner I operate from regularly, Passion Planner, and this one's particularly rose gold, which I just love that color. But they have all kinds of colors, sizes, and styles. I went for a little bit larger one this year because it literally, right? And I just love, right, this weekly planning, monthly planning. But one of the things that I love that this planner has built into it is it gives you the opportunity to do a little monthly reflection, right? So I'm just inviting us that we take a little time to say, okay, what were some of my biggest memories, life lessons, or wins or victories from the month of February? And I'd love for you guys to take a moment to review that, and that you acknowledge yourself and you see the wins, you see the victories, and that you give yourself that time and that reflection to look at, right? Like, what were my wins and my victories? I also then like to ask myself as just a form, not a form of judgment, but as a form of just pondering and reflection, accountability, and being more proactive for the following or upcoming month, is I also like to ask myself, what were my biggest distractions? Where did I kind of get out of the flow? Where did I get distracted, right? And we're always working with distractions, and not out of judgment, but as popping into for yourself is like, okay, where did I maybe get distracted? What are some of the habits I want to shift? I want to change, whether it's with my technology or firming up my schedule, or perhaps I got, off track in this way or that way. And then resetting yourself as we transition into a new month. And I want you asking yourself, taking a little time today to again reflect on February, but then making some plans for March. What are you going to create this month? What are the habits you're going to empower or enable in yourself? What are the health habits, right? What are the business habits, the sales habits, the growth habits? What are some of the things that you're going to be intentional about in the month of March? One of the things I'm going to invite you to do, one is, of course, your own self-care, right? Your self-care habits. But then I'm going to invite you to consider, how many people are you going to nourish in the month of March? Can I say at least 25? 5 a week, right? There's 5 weeks in the month of March, but it's thinking about, I'm going to nourish at least 25 people. And that would be a great month goal. And then again, you might do 20 in the first 2 weeks and the last 5 the following week, however you choose to do that. But just reminding yourselves, loves, that you guys are all absolutely, you are powerful creators, and coming back to that intention is so influential. But to also remind us again that, not that this is new, but we're in the people business, and we're in the business of nourishing people. And we're in the business of helping people get ourselves, help others get healthier. And that's what we're working on, right? Powerful things. I love what you're sharing here and what you're working on, loves. I want to welcome our dear friend, mentor, rock star extraordinaire. Our girl, Miss Natalie, is joining us again today. I mean, this is just like a treat, sister. Like such a treat to see you and have you with us. We're just looking at celebrating the wins of February. We're talking about March. Several of these friends are going to leadership. And so we talked about the power of putting yourself in the room, how valuable that is. So it's so good to have you here. I'd love for you to share. What was one of your wins or victories for the month of February?
Oh my goodness. We had an incredible accomplishment in February, and I'm so, so grateful. Just launching a new team and just watching them like launch to silver. And it's taken a while and it's been a process, but their strength was just watching them come into that was so powerful. So yesterday just did the finishing touches on getting to rank and watching that accomplishment energy fly and the work they've each done to get there. Just so gratifying. And it just reminds me how much I love this business and the process of growth that it gives us, right? To shoot for the top of that mountain, or shoot for the stars. And when we hit the top of the mountain, be so grateful.
Sis, isn't it I just think there's nothing more fun than like watching other people that you're helping succeed, watching them win.
Oh,
right? I mean, you and I both like being in that space where mentoring, coaching, all of you can relate to this. It's like watching someone get started to watching someone hit silver or watching Shantae and Matt be on the cover of the magazine. Like that's fun. It's like you help nourish them, for so many years and how you've mentored them. It's just so fun to watch other people win.
It is. It's the best. Once you start doing it, you will never go back to just winning yourself because it's a million times better. It's so much better.
And that is one way to also supercharge your goals. I learned that years ago. I did this like prosperity challenge years ago. Now it was a dear friend of mine, a gentleman named Robert McPhee, used to run these prosperity challenges. Do you remember him?
Totally.
Yeah, such a love. He's written some great books as well. And he would get you to think about and this money and he was just expanding your money consciousness, right? It was really good mindset, manifestation type content. But one of the ways it really became clear for me in practicing that and in my life was I would make my goals also about how I would give back. And it changed the game, right? It was like, yes, set your own goals for the home that you want, the car that you want, the vacations, the artwork, the self-care, the facials, the wardrobe, like definitely, the professional sports games you want to go out to is have the big dreams of all the things. But when you start adding in, like, here's how I want to tithe or charities I want to support, or I want to help other people grow and win. It's like you literally just wrap your goals in this partnership with the universe, with God, because it's bigger than you. It's like, it's me and versus me or, right? And it's so powerful when we drop into that energy. So as you're thinking about your March goals, think about how many people are you going to get started with, essential oils, MetaPower, the products of any kind this month, right? Thinking about the people that already are starting to share and how we're going to help them get launched and growing their business is just making those business goals and making those financial goals include ways of how we're going to be giving back. So powerful.
I love that, Tiff. And I was just reflecting just now on, wow, when did I first set the intention for that goal? And I think I first set it maybe 4 years ago, right? And thought that it would come into play faster than it has. But then I got clear again. This last summer, we were on a trip, and I got clear enough last June that I said, hey, I want to go double blue. I want 2 new leaders. I want 2 new leaders that change the world in amazing ways. And I just want to witness that sometimes that process, it's a process, and holding that space and believing and moving forward in that, it's so worth it. And wrapping it up with that other centeredness is what supercharges it.
I love it. I love the month of March. It's like, because it's like you can see the beginnings of spring, right? On the earth, at least here where we live. It's not happening today, but it's coming, and it's just got this vibrancy. But I love the energy of spring and new beginnings. And it's really, we can have a new beginning anytime we want. The podcast I was listening to, a YouTube video, as I was getting ready to get on this call this morning, was talking about that literally our life can change with anytime we make a new decision, right? We have the power to change anytime we want. But I do love coming into a new month and getting clear and intentional. Who am I going to be? What are the habits I'm going to empower or enable, right? How many people am I going to nourish this month? What are the goals? What are the intentions? And I think it's so powerful when we show up with intention, knowing, again, you can do that anytime you want, but to take some time to just come back to clarity. Clarity is so powerful, and it's that vision piece, right?
That's so, yeah, that clarity, it just brings more certainty to add to the vision. And I just need to remind myself to trust the timing. I think that is what I often forget along the way, and start letting go of that vision and that clarity, right? So it's a good reminder to me. Wow, can you see that? Can you see how it comes around? And remember that, because we all get to just keep remembering.
So true. Which brings me home to one of my very favorite quotes of all time, loves. And then we're going to transition. I want you all to start thinking about what your questions are, how we can support you. This is your time. We want to strategize. We'd love to coach if you want to come on live, if you want to put your question in the chat box, but start getting those ready, because we want to be utilized. I mean, I want to get every morsel we can out of our time together today. But one of my very favorite quotes of all time is by a gentleman named Robert Stevenson. I want you all to write this down. And the quote is this. He says, "Don't judge the day by the harvest you reap. Judge the day by the seeds that you plant." I'll say it one more time. Don't judge the day by the harvest that you reap. Judge the day by the seeds that you plant. Why I love that so much is because it puts you in the driver's seat. It's empowering. Is you can control how many people you nourish and talk to today, or reach out to, or attempt to connect with, right? You can be mindful of the things that you put in your brain, the seeds you plant in your brain, your vision. You can be mindful of the kind words you speak to your children or your home, right? Or to yourself, your self-care habits, nourishing, again, your business, the classes you host online, in person, your education. You have a lot of things you can directly control and that you can plant. And the harvest is coming. The harvest can't be prevented. We know that to be true as well. And if you're faithful and true to nourishing, not perfectly, but consistently, and maybe some of you are saying, okay, that's what I'm doing today. I'm recommitting to consistency. I'm going to nourish more intentionally. I'm going to show up in my business. I'm going to be more intentional with my self-care, right? But that you're going to show up in that way, that the harvest is coming, right? And the harvest is, the fruition, the sales, the enrollments. I loved, congratulations to Maria that she had 3 enrollments this month. And that's awesome. And even if she didn't hit her goal, she's saying, I didn't hit my goal, but enrolling 3 people, it's like 3 people got really well nourished and started. And as you're nourishing others, guess what? It's just timing before more of those people you've been nourishing are saying, hey, tell me more about that product, or I want to get started, or I want to come over. And I just think that's so empowering and important to be like, cool. Yes, they're coming. Because even when you're harvesting, even when you're on that stage at convention celebrating your next rank, it's still the law of the harvest is that we're still regularly planting and nourishing. It's so fun to celebrate those vistas, and please celebrate and acknowledge. And then again, it's back to the chopping wood, carrying water, the planting of those seeds, right?
So true.
What seeds are we going to plant today or this week or this month, right, love?
Yeah, because they will grow. We know we are partnered, right? We have this amazing product that changes lives. We have an amazing company and an amazing vehicle. When you know that you're partnered with that, you're amazing, right? Each of you are amazing. You have your own unique gifts. And as you bring those things together, that plant will grow, those seeds will grow. And whether it's sooner or later, we don't have to know, right? Tiff, I love Maria's asking, so what if you have a great focus on serving, but lack clarity and vision? How can you build that clarity and vision?
Do you want me to lead with that, or do you want to?
Yes, it's all yours.
So I think that I love. There's 2 or 3 things I want to say to this. I do think though that you're so in the right flow, is that vision and service go hand in hand, and that your vision is being fueled by service, right? And your service is being fueled by vision, like they're interchangeable. That's the core heartbeat. And it's like, yes, I want to serve more people. I want to change more lives. And then ways to, I would say, accentuate or lock in or ground to your vision is, one is having a current vision board, right? Do you have that? And allowing yourself the permission on that vision board to be a variety of things, the fun things, the like, ooh, if I really let myself dream, right? Because some of you, you're so masterful at gratitude, but you think it's one or the other. I can either dream or be in gratitude, be grateful for what I have, or have dreams. And it's and. You can be so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And gosh, here's my next dream and what I'd want for me, my family, and letting yourself dream. And again, those dreams, including, yes, how we give back in charity, but from the things that you want, but having a vision board that represents who do you want to be in the world, the impact you want to make, matched with the things you want to do, have, or experience. And the power of that, right? Having that vision really clear. And I love a vision board. And I know many of you already know about a vision board, so we don't need to spend a ton of time there. But my question as your coach in this moment is my vision board current? Right? Is it up to date? Is it current? I did it 3 or 4 years ago, but does it freshly inspire you? Is it something that you've visited? Some of you have heard me say that phrase before, visit your vision, right? So you want to go back to the vision board. Another powerful tool is visualization, right? Is seeing in your mind's eye, seeing yourself healthy, seeing yourself energetic and vibrant, seeing yourself hosting that class, seeing yourself literally like in your back office, like enrolling someone. You know, you see that play out in your mind again and again. You see yourself in Orlando at leadership and at convention, right? You see yourself hugging Natalie, right, at convention, and myself and Andy, like we're there just cheering you on. You play out imagery in your mind. You visualize from, again, the small specific things to the big dreams. And then part of visualization, my friend Ariel Ford calls it a feelingization. So it's similar as we want to see it, but then drop into what would that feel like? And you give yourself that feelingization where you go, oh, I feel it. Sometimes, oh, excuse me, come here. No, come. Sorry, my toddler is out and about today. It's just, come here. No, I know.
Yes.
Thank you for telling me there's a dog. There's a dog outside on a walk, and apparently it's a big deal. So, but sometimes that feeling, again, the feelingization is, sometimes I do this even with, if I'm not, quote, in the mood to work out, Nat, but that's one of my decided habits and attributes is I move my body every day. And there's times like, oh, I'd rather stay snugly in bed, or I'm just not feeling it. Well, part of it's choice, part of it can be accountability, but a big part is that I'll see myself after my workout.
Mm.
And then I'm dropping into the feeling. What does that feel like when I'm getting off the bike or wrapping up a bar class or leaving my yoga studio? Oh, I feel so good. And I'll drop into what that feels like. Like I want you guys, when you think about being in stage at convention, seeing yourself being silver, being gold, being diamond, being, blue, presidential, whatever you're working on, your next level is you're seeing it, but then you're also feeling what that feels like. Like right now, I want you guys to put yourself on a beach, a tropical beach. This is probably for my own, desires coming through, but put yourself on a tropical beach and just feel the sunshine. Feel the sunshine, feel the breeze, the light breeze. And it's like, oh, how good that feels. And so again, the power of clarity and the power of vision is vision boarding, visualization, feelingization is you're regularly, part of that is it changes your state, right? Tony Robbins, he's a great personal development trainer. He talks a lot about changing your state. Yeah. Shelley says, I just put myself back in Huntington Beach. But do you guys all have a current vision board? And if you don't, would that be an assignment you're willing to take on this week as we lead out March? And even if it doesn't have to be the perfected huge one, you might even say you make a mini vision board for March, April, May, right? The next 3 months, 90 days, or it's like, I'm getting intentional about it. It's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vision board, vision book.
Tiff, one thing that has kept me from updating mine is thinking, oh, it's going to take so long. I need to put in all this energy. When the other day, Andy was just like, we're doing vision boards tonight. And we literally took an hour and updated, and it was great. And it was powerful, and all the kids were able to do it too. So I think if we just carve out a little bit of time, it doesn't have to be a big project that we have a couple days for or something. I don't know what that illusion is.
I love that. Exactly. It's like, oh, it's because some of you are thinking this has got to be my submission to the Architectural Digest magazine, and it's got to be perfected and gorgeous versus come back to being a kid, get out the glue stick and the scissors and just like, hey, and I'm making it and here we go, versus I understand. And I do love pretty pictures. My go-to hack is I use Pinterest, Nat.
Yeah.
And Pinterest is a great app, right? It's social media technically, but I use it heavily for, looking up images, recipes, but you can have private boards or public boards. And my vision board is private. So only I see it. So you don't have to share it with the world, because it is intimate and personal. I don't necessarily, you can have it public too, but you can keep it on your digital space, and you just gather some images that are there, and there's different pins. But my hack from that is I'll put them there. And then if I have different photos, quotes, words, images, right, then I send those, I download them to my phone and upload them to, I'm currently using Walgreens. I used to use Costco all the time, but Costco quit doing on-site printing. So I'll send them to Walgreens, their 1 hour printing, and pick them up that day or the next day. And I've got all these images that I've printed, or words, or you can use Canva, right? Or Word Swag, your own creation apps. If you're like, hey, nothing out there says I'm a presidential diamond. And you're like, I want that on a photo or on an image. I am a presidential diamond. Okay, I'm going to create that in Canva or Word Swag, save that image, print them at Walgreens or wherever you guys are printing images. And then I take those images and put them on a board. And that's one way of creation, but literally if you've got magazines or you have things you can pull from, right? You can literally scissor this, glue and paste it, tape it, but it's the power of your mind. You guys, why we're talking about this isn't just because it's fun arts and crafts. It is, I do love it, but your mind, you guys, is a powerful mini movie machine. And the images you feed it, just like watching a movie, how important it's like, there's times, how many of you have ever watched a movie? Just follow me on this example and tell me in the chat box. How many of you have ever watched a movie that you've already seen before? Anyone ever done that? Or you have a favorite movie that you've just loved, you've watched before? Maybe you're a big Harry Potter fan, you've watched them a million times. I love the movie While You Were Sleeping, Serendipity, some sweetheart, clean rom-coms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh yeah, I've done it. It's like we're watching a movie we already know, but we love how it makes us feel. Have you ever watched a movie that you've already seen before, maybe even several times before, and you watch it and it still makes you laugh or makes you cry? Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Right. Like the week I got married, I watched the movie Steel Magnolias because my colors were blush and bashful. You remember that line? And I swear on the inside, you know this about me, Natalie, I swear I'm a Southern girl. I was born in Utah, but I swear I was meant to be born in the South. Right. So, but it's like, I've already seen it. Why would I be doing that? I already know the movie, and I'm even going to cry or I'm going to laugh. It's because the power of those images and the story.
Mm-hmm.
And being an architect of your own life, that's the most exciting story you could be telling. And sometimes we're so attached to our devices, looking at everyone else's life or watching movies or Netflix. Nothing wrong with that. I love good Netflix. I love a good movie. I love social. But it's like, get intentional about the life you're creating.
Mm-hmm.
And powerful vision boarding isn't just arts and crafts, is you're feeding your brain images. And you're thinking about, and you're seeing, and like you're putting yourself, and then if you'll visualize it and you see yourself on the stage, you feel yourself at Huntington Beach, you see yourself at your next class enrolling several people, right? Or even one-to-one, you feel what that's like getting someone started and the excitement of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just the power of, again, vision boarding, visualization is you're actively in co-creation of your future.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that's so powerful that you go, I'm going to be intentional. Yes, I love what Shelley's talking about. She's a hypnotherapist. And she's saying we think, about 70 to 80% of our thoughts just happen to be negative by nature.
Mm-hmm.
And we often are just like Groundhog's Day. Some of you mentioned the movie Groundhog's Day, is we're just thinking the same thoughts. So
and wondering why we're still getting.
Why am I stuck? Why am I stuck? Well, you're not stuck, but if you rinse and repeat the same thoughts, which produce the same emotions, because you're feeling what you're thinking. And so it's change up the tune, get yourself in front of your vision board, visualize, feel it. Even it's like participate in active daydreaming, right? Like as little kids, we did a lot of that. We were playing all kinds of things out and we were make-believe. And then as adults, like we have to practice that muscle again. And so these are some tools that can help. I love what many of you are saying, but it's again, the permission to dream and maybe even dream bigger. I love Casey's comment a while back where she said, it's been the best thing to put the holy crap dreams on my board and have fun with it instead of all the fears. Just even letting yourself lean into possibility. And my vision board is a mix of some of the things that are like self-care habits, right? To like, hey, mountain cabin home, dream home, to trips to take, to impact I want to make, to lives to change. So some of it's simple and some of it's big and all of it's welcome there. But it's me being a more intentional creator of like, what's the life? What's the story? What's the movie I want to produce? So anyway, Nat, what do you want to add to this? Because I just got super passionate and went with it.
I love it. And you nailed it. Like so real, so good. I remember, spend time in the zip code of your dreams, right? Is that what you say, Tiff? Get it right.
Yeah.
Spend that time, whether it's driving through there on a Sunday afternoon or in your mind. We all have that power of our mind to tap in. And about this time of year in Utah, when there's this much snow, I'm going to show you, the snow continues to fall. It is everywhere. I am having a hard time imagining the snow ever going away, right? But what do we do with our dreams and our mind? We can see the future and we lean into that. So love it.
So good. So Maria, thank you for asking that question because I think for all of us, it was a great question to ask, especially on March 1st, as we create a new month, just that energy of creation. I am a creator. I'm a powerful creator. And all of you, again, it's like, no matter what's happening circumstantially and the emotions that brings up for you, it's coming back home to truth, which is I am a powerful creator. And what thoughts do I choose to think? What do I choose to visualize and feel? And even if your current reality and circumstances, it's snowing right now, literally out my dining room window here. It's like, oh, okay. Grateful though, grateful for the water, grateful for the snow. It's a season, but to your point, soon enough, it'll be spring and summer and autumn.
Yep.
And you just go, okay, but the power of bringing us home to giving yourselves permission to dream, practicing it though, right? Put your vision board in a space where you'll see it often. Let me show you something that I created earlier this year. See my phone?
Oh,
See those 4 different images? I have 4 images that represent my core priorities in this season of my life. So that's like a little mini vision board. They anchor me back to working out, organizing my space, lots of creation, and my sweetheart, right? And what we're creating together in our world. And so it's just like you can put your vision board or one of your images off your vision board or your next rank or your reminder of, I'm going to nourish, who am I nourishing today? Might be a question you literally put as your phone wallpaper. And so put one of your dreams or several of your dreams right on your phone, or put it at the desktop of your computer, somewhere you see it often, or put your vision board in a space. Because again, language, please write this for me in your notes and maybe on a 3x5 card that goes on your bathroom mirror or your desktop or on your nightstand that says, visit your vision. Because it's like, Natalie, I think about the beautiful home you're living in now. How many times myself, probably, Bo, come here, babe. How many times myself in 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, I visited that spot with you, probably 20 times.
Oh, yeah.
Over that time, where we would go, we saw the land before it even got leveled, and then we saw it get leveled, and then we saw, the foundation go in, and then the structure start to go up, and it was a whole process. But we visited that space many times, let alone think about how many times you visited that space. That was just me as one of your close friends who I got to see it, 15, 20 times. We would be at your previous home and we'd say, hey, you want to pop up and see the property? And we'd go watch the progress of that. But we visited it on a regular basis.
Wow.
Powerful.
Visiting it, staying in that. I had someone, we were doing a rank retreat this weekend, Tiff, and they didn't have the clarity. And I love what Justin is saying. Hey, I want this or something better. And I think that is some clear direction on that vision. If you feel like you might be limited, go with what you're dreaming and what you believe right then, or something better, and add on that phrase. But we were in that rank retreat, and it's silver's going gold, right? And some of the questions that came up were, how can I change my circumstance, right? And similar to a little bit of what we were talking about last week, like, as soon as I change my circumstance, as soon as it's not winter, as soon as there's not snow falling outside, then I'll do this. As soon as, my husband thinks differently, then I'll do this. As soon as this shifts or that shifts. And I was reminded, a super wise man said something like, it's not about the circumstances you're in, but the perspective that you have in those circumstances. And that's the way circumstances change, right? Is total acceptance of whatever the circumstance is, right? I'm in total acceptance of this amazing snow that I have around me. I can be in resistance, or I can be in acceptance. And then what am I doing? What do I really want going forward? So in acceptance, and then what's it going to be? Totally. You can ski. as I am in that place of acceptance, then things can shift, right? Then I can move forward. But when I have that perspective of my vision, that changes how I see the circumstances around me.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Ooh, I love Karina's idea about setting an alarm when it goes off. Take 2 minutes to dream and feel. And that Hugh Jackman, when he was at convention a couple of years ago, he was saying, we have to make time to dream.
Oh, I love that. I had a really rich, nourishing Sunday, and I just created a lot of quiet, and I have this space that's very spiritual and nourishing for me, and spent a lot of time in prayer and scripture and just pondering. But as I started that process, I gave you and some of our girlfriends, you guys, I don't have this link on me right now, but I need to find it. But there was this link for these, they're called 20-minute meditation candles. And there were these tiny little candles. Someone had gifted them to me a year before, and then I bought like a bunch of them for different friends. And what she's saying is, you can set an alarm, but literally it's about 20 minutes-ish, give or take, when this little candle burns down. And it's a tiny little beeswax candle. It's like this big, and you light it, and then it just dissolves. And it's like, it's a meditation candle, but you could do it with dreaming. You could do anything like that, right? Where you give yourself that space and that time, right, to come home to dream. I found those on Etsy, by the way. Did you find them? There you go. Natalie, you're the best. She just put it in the chat, the Zoom chat.
They are the cutest. My daughter has been using them just to like keep her focus, right? Because then she'll get her phone away, everything away, but it will give her some sense of time and be able to sit with it.
Just allowing yourself, like you're saying, the dreaming, and just like inviting that. And again, I want you not to feel like, oh, I've got to get the perfect space to drop into this. It's like you can do it right now, right? But the power of that, when you're just saying, I'm going to take time to create. Yeah, the app is Insight Timer is the name of the app that is free. They have a paid for version. I've just always used the free version, and you have thousands and thousands of meditations and pretty music and songs and all kinds of things that you can access.
I've had some good experiences there and some duds there. Tiff, have you?
So you find, yeah, there's some, and I don't ever make myself finish. I'm the kind of person, if I don't like what I'm reading or eating, I don't finish it. And similar, if I'm listening to something and I'm like, not my favorite, just you can close out and go find one that is. One of my favorite teachers, though, on Insight Timer, we've shared her lots in our group thread, is a woman named Sarah Blondin, Sarah, Sarah Blondin, Blondin, is a great meditation teacher.
So yummy, so good. Recently, Roxanne and James went to a Joe Dispenza event in Florida, and they came back so fired up about this. So basically, every time we've been together, they're like, you want to meditate? You want to meditate? What good friends, right? What great influences when our invitations to each other are, should we meditate again? So I've been doing all that Sarah Blondin, like beautiful, like feel good. And then they brought the Joe Dispenza, just big voice, and it was so different. But he had like a walking meditation that you can just get on Amazon that like was like, it was so powerful for me because it was just a different format. So guys, there's so many different ways. Like I was thinking, okay, I need to move a little bit more. And that walking meditation was really powerful for me. So
yeah,
don't drive the car when you're doing meditation, but walking, yes.
Yes. I think that, again, it's doing the things that work for you. What matters is that you, again, drop into that creation space and that space and time to dream. And like, I just want to, where am I even going? Like, I love to regularly ask that question. So where am I going? What am I creating in my home, in my heart, in my business, in my relationships? Yeah, it's powerful. Haley B has a great recommendation. She says Michael O'Brien is her favorite on Insight Timer. If anyone else, if you're familiar with that app and have a favorite, by all means, drop them in. I found a few that I really love. They're in my app that it's like I've saved those specific meditations. Good stuff.
Visit your vision was that awesome phrase earlier. I love it. So Tiff, hey, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat or in the Q&A. But I want to, if we don't have that, I want to be thinking we've got leadership in a couple of weeks. You know, historically, this is a season for, in February or March, you might see a BOGO, right? So you might be prepared for something like that. And I love, how can we plant the seeds now so that we're ready to reap when the time comes? Creating a VIP text list is one of my very favorites, so that you have those, you know, your contacts, your key people that are either buying the oils or interested in the oils already on tap. So when you get that announcement, you can quickly and easily get a graphic out to those people and just like keep them in the know, right? So much power with that. So prepare those relationships, cultivate that. If you, in the business building guide, it gives some great language on that. I think it's on the section on nurture customers. I'll pull it up. And Enroll Pro is a great way to get that VIP text list going using the Enroll Pro CRM. Tiff, any insights on that as we think about sharing? I mean, great things, right? At leadership, share the love, share what you're doing, share the amazingness of how it feels, right?
Totally. I would say, you know, it's like when you're at leadership, capture it, gems, notes, photos, video, and, you know, share that a lot on your social media, especially your stories, right? Like you just are feeding this, and even then create little ways to be like, ask the questions of like, hey, if you're curious to learn more, or which have you tried essential oils or favorite things, like there's ways you can be seeding that too. And you might have a private Facebook group, great place to put in a lot of content, right? Like a mutual friend of Natalie and I's, when she's sometimes attending an event, in her Facebook group pages, she's sharing gems she's learning there. And so people, it's like, hey, if you want to join this Facebook group or this thing, you can learn these things. I just think it's great to, again, be sharing, and some of these text apps are good for that too.
Love those insights. Love those insights. And we can inspire, and people are going to resonate with the things that you know, that you share. And that might even bring out some new sharers or new builders in your world, right?
Yeah.
This
Karina
is
has a good question.
Yeah.
She says, when I'm trying to hit silver, but I want to be founder 2.0, would I envision both, or just the one until I hit it and then the next step? Nat, what would you say to that? As someone who was working and going silver, but had presidential diamond in her sights years ago, right? Like, how did you work with that? I don't think they cancel one another out personally, but what would you say to it?
I would say, you know, be clear on what you're creating this month, right? In March, I'm silver by March 31st, on or before March 31st, right? So you have that clarity. And then, you know, I am founder 2.0, on or before August 31st. So you've got those two things can work in tandem, just like Tiff said, and I totally am with that. Get that vision, lean into that vision, and then create your strategy, right? To get there. What are your steps?
And I think exactly that is like, I would be seeing, present time. It's almost like when you're driving down the highway, you can acknowledge like what's right here while you're still seeing where you're going. You can see both and appreciate both. And then again, I'd get really clear, right? Like, what are the steps that I'm taking? Part of visual, again, I love big vision, which we're talking about. And then, as you know, if you've been here for a minute, I'm a big fan of effort-based goals. Therefore, you have, and they go hand in hand together. So it's like, I'm changing this many lives. I'm silver. I'm a founder. I'm this, I'm that. And how you're helping put that into fruition is how many lives you're changing and touching. And then we get really clear on, that's why I'm saying part of March goals is how many people are you nourishing this month, right? Let alone this week or this day. And that you're dropping into those mindsets and those intentions and specific actions of contacting, of following up, of your pipe system, right? And that you're putting people regularly, we're in that it's like, I'm tracking that. I'm visualizing an outcome, but I'm tracking my effort. Does that make sense, you guys? You see the vision, cool, see it. So it inspires you, it pulls you forward, it nourishes you. And then you track the actions, efforts, tasks that are moving you in that direction, effort-based goals. And that's how you create, literally, you set yourself up to win. Mm-hmm. And so then you go, oh, I'm measuring my efforts. That's why I said the Robert Stevenson quote, right? Which is like, don't measure the day by the harvest you reap, is visit and see in your mind the harvest, visualize it, vision board it, see it, feel it. And then we measure the day by the seeds we plant and the actions that we're taking. Because sometimes, right, you need both. Mm-hmm. We need vision and action. Action without vision, we stall out. Vision with no action is just like pretending versus like I'm co-creating this reality. That's what's super powerful.
Amen, sister. It is, and it creates incredible results when we have the two together. I was just talking to a friend. She's down in St. George. She had like an accident last year, so she's been a little bit out of touch with doTERRA, but she decided to take her vision again and put it into action. And she had a simple spa night at her home where they did some foot soaks and they put some oils on the shoulders with a hot pack. And in that night, she taught people about MetaPower, and 8 out of 9 of the people that were there enrolled with a MetaPower kit.
Wow.
And she said, wow, I feel like I just have such an incredible gift to give people. And it's a whole new level for even the people that know about the oils and may have used oils in the past, or may even be current customers, leaning into that. So vision and action, that's where the magic happens, bringing those two together. This is the Nurture Customers, which is on page 75 of the Business Building Guide. And I love how it just gives you a few ideas. You can see scripting ideas in the green, right, to connect with your people. So it might be a great time to connect with some of your people. You could do that via text. You could do that via picking up the phone and making a call. And pretty soon, right here where it says add value, use the add-on scripts, right? These are all the add-on scripts, and there's one specifically here for BOGOs that will help you out with some of that language if you desire. Here's one for product of the month, continuing ed, or like, can we hook you into our Facebook community about products, or our WhatsApp group, whatever that is. So you've got some incredible options right here to keep adding value for your customers. And I promise that leadership is going to be packed full of some new ways that you can take and add value to your people. Some new ways to share that will help you share and others share. So if you aren't registered for leadership, this is just an invitation right now. If you've qualified, amazing. The flights that we checked yesterday were like half the price of what they were before. So if you can be there in person, like Tiffany was saying earlier, get there. And if you can, so that was page 76 of the business building guide, CAS, that you're asking about. And it is easy. You can download it and you've got it right there, or you can get it on your LRP. Right. Flights have dropped. Yesterday when we looked, they were $350, a direct flight from Salt Lake City to Florida. They were $700 or $800 before. So, and once you get there, like, lean into it. You're going to learn some great new things, and there are going to be things available if you attend leadership. If you haven't registered for leadership, just get registered so that you have that option to share going forward. And then while you're there, I saw in the chat, somebody was asking, what else is going on? I know there's a Symphony of Cells the day before, but the morning of leadership, we are holding an essential emotions breakthrough training. It's 2 hours, right, Sharon? Correct me if I'm wrong. Power packed, but it will help you know how to use this emotional breakthrough process. So let's say you just want to help your little leaders get unstuck, or your builders get unstuck. This process can be so instrumental in that, and you'll learn this process in that training. It's really powerful, and some of the aspects of it. Sweet. There's a link right there in the chat for $50 off. So a lot of you on here have done the EE coaching program, and it's super powerful. I'm so grateful. That's been some of your highlights that I saw up there earlier. And this is a way for all your people to kind of be empowered with that. So that training is it $49 after the discount? Sharon, $49.
It should be about 50 plus
Okay.
tax.
Okay. So then you're getting in for 50 plus tax, super powerful event. You'll leave empowered. Yes, a gift to give yourselves and to give other people. So grateful. Ooh, effort-based goal setting.
Yeah, it took me a second to find it, but it's because it's back in 2021. But it
Just
is,
keep putting out great content to
yes, it's talking about this conversation, if for yourself or for if you want to share it. I know we've talked through it today, but if you want to share it with your teams, that's a great resource to help their mindset go. That's right, for the month of March, right? Like, share it with them of setting their goals and what they're thinking about, so that they can have that, again, those, what we're tracking, and how that will help them then grow.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for bringing it again and again and again, year after year, so that we have those resources to tap into.
Well, sis, it's just a joy to be with you as always. I think you've got a few more questions about essential emotions. I'm going to hop off,
Yep.
get ready for another call. So good to see you. So good to see you all. Welcome to March, everyone. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. We'll look forward to it.
I love it. Welcome to March. March is going to be amazing. You're already creating so much beauty. So yes, let's see. There's a link to the certification to be an emotions coach, an essential emotions coach. And there's even, I am going to share. Okay. That's the link right there, just for you that are here on the success coaching call. I want you to have this code for $100 off. And the first code, let's see. The first code is for the 1 payment plan. The second code is for the 2 payment plan. So we would love to have you there with us. It's bringing all kinds of breakthrough. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be your great, great, great grandmother or whatever that is. And thank you for all the love that you bring and all that you share with those around you. You are such a gift. We are the convention essential emotions training from last year. Is that what you're asking about, Dr. Christine? Sharon, do we have that available anymore?
Going forward, we are going to just be holding the live events. So we really suggest that you tune into this coaching certification because a lot of that is covered in the certification as well. But then we're really up leveling our live events and going to have it there too.
So we want to bring it to you as we get more clear and more straightforward and more powerful about how to bring that to you. We want to bring you that very best. And so as we look back on September, it was like, wow, that was so powerful. It was life-changing for so many people. And we've got it better than that even now. So we look forward to seeing you in Orlando. One thing, if you're not going to be there live, we just added a recording to that. And the recording, Sharon's going to drop, I think it's the same link.
It's the same ticket link, and there'll just be 2 options. So there's a in-person option and then a recording option. And the recording is $20 if you're not going to be at Leadership Live. And those are the discount code for that training at Leadership is LEADER for $50 off. And then if you're ready to be a coach and ready to dive in there, it's really powerful. We've streamlined that process so it's simple and super powerful. Like you will come out. I see the fire and everything from here. I love that in the chat. So super excited for that. And that link is up above and the code. Yeah, Sharon just shared the code. Love it. Thank you so much for being here. It's going to be a great March. Be ready for those customer connections so that you can take things to the next level. People out there, they need what you have. You've got it. Way to bring that vision and the action together so that you can deliver it. They're waiting for you. We love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Be with you again soon. Hope to see you at Leadership.